Welcome back to the Cat Tavern podcast. My name is Ethan, and today we have Corey Jones hanging out with us. My co-host Kieran couldn't make it this week. We didn't make our Monday upload, and I had to keep you guys who are desperately waiting for another episode, fulfilled. Keep your lives moving in the right direction by bringing Corey on here to talk about probably the most inspirational and lighthearted topics you've ever heard. Say hi, Corey.
Hey everyone. As Ethan introduced me, my name is Corey. And this is actually not my first time on a podcast, believe it or not. I actually used to co-host another podcast all the way back in high school. It was really cringe, so I don't wanna talk about it.
Well,
It was very bad.
welcome to your second cringe podcast. I'm so glad you could make it.
Yeah. I think this one will be marginally better. But I guess I'll think that I might change that opinion at the end of the episode. We'll see.
You will. You definitely will. It'll be marginally worse. So we'll just jump right into it. So Corey and I were hanging out this past weekend. We are college friends from IU, and we decided to get our college group together to do a little vacation. We hadn't seen each other, and it's been a few months now, right? Probably since that one bachelor party I had, where I saw you at that arcade bar, if you remember that.
Oh yeah, that would
You and
be
your
that would
two
be the last
roommates.
time. Yeah, in ND. Um, yeah, that was like that would be the last time. That was all the way back in like April or some shit.
Yeah, so it's been 3 or 4 months, and as two former
Hmm.
roommates, that's way too long. Not
It
not waking
is.
up beside you every morning. It's just heartbreaking to have to go
I
that
miss
long.
the I do miss the shower time together.
The shower time was unreal. To
Yep.
save water, Bloomington is known for its lack of water, so we had
Hmm.
to do our part. I've heard it's worse than Vegas, so
It's there's a lot of droughts going on there
not whenever
for
we're there.
sure. Yeah, whenever there, we save so much water together. We do everything. We poop together, like right across from each other. It's the most optimal way if you like straddle one another, you know?
Oh, I was thinking we installed two toilets in the house. I don't remember
No, no,
that
no,
part
no.
where we straddled. I'm
No.
gonna. I probably mentally chose to forget that memory right there. Probably
It's one of my fondest memories. That's
repress
kind of
that
weird that
as
you
hard
forgot
as I
that.
could.
That's kind of
I,
weird you forgot that. Huh? That's weird.
I'm gonna keep repressing that one. We're gonna bury that one real deep. But so, anyways, it's been a long time since the good old pooping days, and so we went
Hmm.
down to Nashville, Tennessee, where all great things happen. Apparently, the Vegas of the East. So I learned this weekend, and we did a lot down there. Corey, what was your favorite thing we did down in Nashville?
Oof. Um, I would say probably the dinner that we did um on that Saturday night that I think it was like Black Rabbit or some shit. Um
Oh, the
I
fancy
like
place.
yeah. The happy hour there was one of the most like reasonable happy hours I've ever been. Like $6 cocktails like in a city like Nashville is very reasonable. I did get we I did get trashed off of I think it was like three or four mules and maybe two margaritas. Um, it was the start of a good night for sure. What about
It,
you? What was your favorite? What was your highlight?
it was one of the start of one night of all time. One of the
Hmm.
nights of all time. There we go. Third time's the charm. My favorite part, honestly, it might have been what happened about 2 or 3 hours after that dinner. Um,
The bingo board.
the bingo board. So Corey and I decided and I should preface, this is after happy hour. We decided to do this, make a bingo board to blend in with all the bachelor and bachelorette parties that go down to Nashville and have a list of to do things on there. And while I won't get into everything that was on the board because I would like
We should
to
get into
keep
everything on the board.
I'd like to keep my reputation somewhat intact by the end of this, but I will say it was the most heinous board I've ever seen in my entire life, and some semi unspeakable acts did occur because of this bingo board. But it led to a lot of good things too. I mean, how many chicks did I get to dance with you for the bingo board?
I think it was like two or three, I would say.
No, it was like
This man,
four. I think it was
oh,
four or
okay, well, I was
five.
close enough.
I don't know, man. I've got
But
we've got photos.
this guy is an absolute phenomenal wingman. If you have the chance to be, um, if you have the chance to let Mr. Ethan over here, wingman you with a woman, got to take him up on that offer. He's very, very good, very talented.
Or if the woman just wants a one-on-one with the coach, I do that as well.
Hmm.
That is the last
Well
time I will
played.
ever shoot my shot. Coaches don't play. We're just better at coaching. But I did help
Hmm.
both you out and one of our other friends. She got quite a long night actually out of the match I set up for her. She got a little vacation boyfriend out of it. I was
Hmm.
pretty proud of how I was able to set that up by just literally commanding him what to do. It was so bad. Like it started out, she was like, "That's my type," and I was like, "I know." And so walked down. I said, I'll set you up. We walked down there, and she's kind of standing a little bit behind me. And I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, man, I was just curious. Are you single?" And he was like, "Yeah, I am." And I was like, "Well, I've got a friend right behind me that you need to talk to." And he's like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah, go talk to her. She wants to say hi. She's interested." And he's like, "Oh, wow." And he starts like a bro conversation. He's like stalling, I can tell. And he starts like asking some
Wait, wait,
questions
wait.
about
Did he
me.
do this with you?
Yeah, this is
He
all
was
with me.
stalling like with you? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. He hasn't spoken to her. She's still kind of behind me. Maybe might have said something to one of his friends or something. Um, and he's like kind of stalling a little bit. And like after a sentence or two, I just cut him off, and I'm like, you know, quit being a wimp. Go talk to her already. And he's like, what? And I just like start walking away. I kind of just like, like push him a bit on the back. I'm like, go talk to her.
Hmm.
And like I could tell he wanted to. He's just like he didn't know what he was doing. And I talked to his friends later and they did say he just isn't that type. He's very, I guess, reserved, not a go-getter when it comes to that. And so I like
Hmm.
pushed them together and they had like instant chemistry. And after a while I could tell, well, her goal was to not sloppy make out with somebody at Nashville this weekend, but a proper makeout was on the to-do list. And so after a while, like he wasn't doing anything, and like it's kind of going at the same pace. I can tell she's into it. She's ready. And he's not doing crap. And I'm talking to his friends about it because his friends are like, "Dude, you're a legend for setting him up. They're like we've been trying to get him to do this for years." And so they're like, "But he won't make a move. He won't do it." And I said, "Boys, I got this." And I walk over and I tap him on the shoulder, and he turns around and she can't hear. It's just me and him. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Make your move already." And he's like, "What are you talking?" And he's like, "Are you talking about like?" And he kind of pauses, and I'm like, "Dude, kiss her already."
He
He's
was
like,
afraid to say it. The poor
"Yeah."
dude.
He was like, "Who are you?" And I said, "The best thing that's ever gonna happen to you." And I'm like, no. And then I said once again, I said, like quit stalling. And I walk away, and he turns back around, and I think he kind of was like getting close to and kind of backed off again, and she just had to sort of initiate it, but he kind of started to, and she got the hint. So we did successfully set that up. It just took way more effort than what I was hoping it would, and just have to like, I mean, he wanted to, he just couldn't. I don't know. I get it.
Hmm.
I mean, random person, at the bar, you don't know what the other person's looking for, but I mean, I knew exactly what she was, so you just have to communicate that to him.
I gotta know, like, how powerful did you feel in that moment?
I'm like, I don't know. You ever play like Pocket Gods or something whenever you were a kid on your phone? Do you know that
Yeah,
game
yeah, yeah,
where you like pick
yeah,
up the little people and you can move them around and make them do things and drop them, just like
yeah.
drag lightning down from the clouds and zap them? That is exactly what I felt like. It's just like pawns. You just pick them up, you move them, you put them together. It's the exact same thing. I like that you get that
Mm,
reference. I'm glad. You can tell we're from very wealthy families because that game was like $6, and
it was.
most kids
That
don't
was
have
like
that kind of money for mobile games. That was
that
like
was
the
one
biggest
month of
purchase
a
of my life.
yeah. That was one month of allowance right there for sure.
See, I didn't even have an allowance. That was just straight birthday money. Straight birthday money. And about 3 days of convincing my mom that it was totally worth it and I would use it for
Hmm.
years. Probably use it for a few weeks, but give or take.
Yeah. Well, that was certainly a night. Um,
How did that night end, Corey? Would you like to go into detail?
it ended with a panic and me. I did end up canceling my credit card.
Did
Um,
you actually?
I did cancel my credit card. I was I was thinking about making a post on Instagram for this trip, and I think the caption would be like "RIP Discover Card" or some shit. So to make a long story short, one of our friends there, he just wasn't feeling the bars, so he goes back to the room. So, for those of you who have not been on Nashville or to Nashville, there's essentially one main street with all of like the main bars, and that street is called Broadway. And we had a like kind of small. It wasn't even really a hotel. It was like a. I mean, it was a hotel,
It
but
felt like an
it was.
apartment complex a little
Yeah,
bit.
it felt like an apartment complex turned like Airbnb kind of thing. Um, but it was like 2 blocks off of Broadway, and we got it for like dirt cheap. So he goes back to the room and like texts us in the group chat that he's okay and everything. He made it back to the room. He just kind of wasn't feeling the bars and everything. So none of us went to go check on him, which I think in hindsight might have been a bad choice, but I don't think it would have really affected anything. So long story short, our other friend and that guy went back to the room and she shared her location with us. And we saw that they were back at the place and we thought that they were going to hook up. So Ethan, in his brilliance, goes, "Ain't nobody fucking on my bed." And we set off in a dead sprint for about, I'd say, like, I think a third of a mile back to the room. We make it up the stairs, and there's like a security guard, like kind of concierge, once you scan your key to get into like the main kind of lobby. And like a lobby was like literally just a desk and like a coffee machine. It was like a very, very small like place. And he kind of turns to the three of us. It's me, Ethan, and then one of our other friends. Um, and he goes, "Hey, are you Corey?" And I think he asks you first, and you're kind of like, "No, that's Corey," and you like point to me. So he tells us that our one friend that went back to the apartment was outside with just like in his underwear, knocking on other people's doors. And so
And trying to
I
get
I
into
immediately
a room with his car
yeah
keys. Well, like
yeah I'm
he's
trying to
taking a
yeah
car key, putting it on the door, and just so you
trying
know,
to say it
this
in.
this is a keyless entry. You use an app on your phone and just hold it up to a little block on the door. There's not even a hole on the door to put a key in.
Yeah. So I immediately I'm kind of immediately not in like a panic, but I'm kind of in freak out mode because the guy said, um, we like if just so you know, just go basically take care of him, or we're gonna have to call the cops. So we go back to the room. We find our friend literally tucked into bed. The room was untouched from how we left it, and he's
Fully clothed.
fully clothed in his jeans. He was wearing jeans, mind you. Um, so I immediately was like, there's no way it was him. There's no way you're that drunk, stumbling around outside of the room, trying to get into another room with your car keys in your underwear, and you somehow make it back into the room and then put your pants back on and then go to bed. That just doesn't make any sense. So Ethan, I think you go out
Hmm.
to the security guard, and then what exactly did you say to him?
I told him, I think you've got the wrong guy. I was like, he's laying in his bed. He's got his jeans on, belt still even done up. He's laying there. It looks like he hasn't moved a muscle. It looks like he just got back, went straight to bed. And he looks at me and he goes, I let him into the room and I have security footage. And I instantly double back and say, yeah, I can't argue with that shit. It was definitely him. And I was like, "Oh crap!" And I kind of say like, "Sorry about that," and I go back to the room. And so we're all there. We've got I, the friend we came back with, our sleeping friend, and then the other friend that I set up with that guy. So all now it's six of us are in that room, and we're kind of talking about what just happened, and we're like, "Huh, well that's interesting." And so our one friend with the guys like, all right, they'd come back to our room just to get him to charge his phone. So his phone had been charged up a bit, and she's like, I'm going to take him back out to the bars with his friends. And me and our other friend that's awake are like, we're going to go to the security guard and get this footage. We have to have this footage. It'd be too funny to just leave that behind. So we go up there, we go back out, and all right, sir. We hate to bother you, but is there any way we could get that footage? I'm like, I think this would just make a great teaching moment for him. And he kind of looks at us and he's like, teaching moment. And I was like, it's a time to learn from our mistakes so we can be better. Like I'm just feeding him absolute garbage, just spoonful after spoonful, just saying anything so I can get this footage, so I can rub this in his face for the rest of his life. And he does. He's like, okay. And he pulls it up and he's got security footage of all the cameras in the building all next to each other, and it's just like on his laptop right in front of him, and he's scrolling through time and shows us where Dylan's coming in, or and he's walking side to side, and he's bumping into like all of the walls, so he's bumping into everything, and so he's like stumbling back and forth, and then whenever he gets to our room, the camera only like gets like his forehead and up or something like that. Like the camera angle is awful. Our room is basically not on camera. And well, in the room right next to it that he was standing at. And so the security guard was like, yeah, I just knew to go over there because of his head. Like I saw him standing there for a while, like 10 minutes or something crazy long. And that's when he went over, explained what happened, said he let him back in. But whenever we talked to our buddy then the next morning, he said that like it wasn't because he didn't have that much to drink. Well, I'm pretty sure it was more of a sleepwalk because he said once the guard tapped him on the shoulder, he like perked up and was like, "What am I doing out here?" Like he didn't know. So I almost wonder if it was more of a sleepwalk, if anything. I kind of wonder if he does that. But unfortunately, we didn't get the footage. Oh, and then we told the security guard, "Sorry about that, man. We won't give you any more trouble for the rest of the night. We'll be on our actually, it wasn't even our last night, so we just said the weekend we'll be on our best behavior." And then he looks at me and me and our friend and says, "And your friend and this guy are making out in the hallway right now." And I was like, "Oh," and I was like a little bit ago, I was like, "Is this still back in time?" And he's like, "No, this is live footage." I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, "All right, I'll go take care of that, and then we won't cause any more trouble the rest of the time we're here." And went and told them that they were on camera and to say hi. And we went back to the room. And that night went pretty smoothly then for the rest of it. However, that was not our only close call with, the place we were staying at. We had we had a run in with them the first night, didn't we, Corey? Corey, we can't hear you. Oh, and we might have lost him. All right, I'll keep
Hold
the.
on.
Is he back?
Can you? Oh no,
We can hear you now. All right. So, what about that
I
first
don't know
night?
what happened there. So the first night so you guys got in about, I'd say probably an hour and a half before my car did. So we got in, and it was close to 10:30, and from Indianapolis, it's about a 5 hour drive. So I was pretty pooped. And then you were already pretty fucking drunk.
Bear,
And just got back
what?
from the bars. Yeah, you just got back from a couple of the bars. Um, so we first get our bags in and everything, kind of like sit down for literally 2 seconds, and then um, so 10 o'clock was their like quiet hours, and I think we got in I think almost at exactly 10 o'clock, or it might have been closer to like 10:15 or 10:30 or something like that. Got in. Of course, we were playing music. We were doing some drinks, maybe having a shot or two, and then we get a noise complaint. So a security guard shows up at our door. So that was complaint number one. I did receive a text for that, basically just telling us not to do it again. Um, Complaint number two, we could schedule room service or whatever, and we could kind of select the time to do that. So Ethan's dumbass scheduled it for 3:30 a.m. instead of 3:30 p.m. So I then get a second text saying, "Hey, please select some time from 9 to 5 to do the cleaning service." Um, and then I did have to cancel my credit card because incident number three. Um, once we kind of got our friend, once we had the whole incident with the friend and the security guard, my biggest concern, because my credit card was on this place, was I was like, as long as he didn't piss anywhere, uh, the incident was really not that big of a deal. Um, like as long as he didn't piss anywhere, we're good. So the next morning, I'm fucking hungover as shit. I wake up, I go outside to get coffee. Now, mind you, from our room did not have like a coffee maker. You had to go out front to like kind of that lobby, and they had this like huge coffee machine. So I walk out barefoot because it's like literally right down the hall and it's carpeted, so I didn't really care. And I step out right outside of our door, and then the fucking carpet was wet. So immediately, my worst nightmare is now a possibility, and I'm freaking the fuck out because there might be piss on the fucking carpet right outside of our room.
And now on your
So
feet.
yeah, now yeah, and on my feet too. Um, so I immediately call a team meeting, and I'm like, okay, we need to figure out if this is piss or not, because this could be a real problem if it is. So really the only way we could figure it out is you had to bend over and sniff it. So you know, I took one for the team,
You can
and I
quote
did
him on
smell the
that.
carpet. I you can quote me on it. I took one for the team, and I did smell the carpet. And luckily, I think it was just water. I think somebody just spilt some water or something. Um, but just in case it wasn't, I did cancel my credit card. So I am in the clear.
And for those who don't know what a credit card is, Corey, could you just drop your credit card number, so everybody knows what that looks like?
I mean, it's canceled, so
Yeah, but your new one
oh no,
is worth
no.
a shot. See, what he's going to do is take his new credit card and immediately subscribe to our Patreon with it, and probably give
Wait,
us our first sponsorship.
do you actually have a Patreon?
It's in the works. And by in the works, I mean we're just gonna
It's
say
not
it.
gonna happen.
We're just gonna say it a whole lot and not do anything. I'm sure we'll
Okay.
get sponsored by like
If
some
you,
random some random company or
yeah,
something. It could
if
be
you had a
literally any
OnlyFans,
company. Maybe these dill pickle Slim Jims I have on my desk. Maybe Slim Jim would do that for
those
me.
were a staple of the trip. Those were really good.
They were a staple. Dill pickle Slim Jims in Nashville. I'll say it again if I get paid to. All right, that was my sponsorship rave for the episode. Gotta have one every time till it happens. But yeah,
So
overall it was a pretty eventful trip. I don't think we
yeah,
had really any slow moments. I feel like the entire trip was
We
packed
didn't.
full of good times, bad times that were also good
They
times.
were only good times. They were
They
only
were
good
only
times.
good
They
times
were only good times.
with brief worries of bad times. But no, it was
So
pretty good.
what would you rate the trip out of 10? And would you do it again?
Oh yeah, I'd do it again immediately. I'd go tomorrow. Tomorrow?
I
No.
mean,
I mean, but overall, that was easily the best time I've been in Nashville. I've been there. That was probably my fourth time that I've been down there. I don't live super far away, and so yeah, it was really good trip overall. I mean, usually everything's super packed, and while it was packed, that was not near the worst that I've seen it. It was just a good enough amount of people that you can still move around and have fun, and some only have to wait sometimes for a drink, like half an hour. Other times was only like 5 minutes. So
yeah, fuck. There was that one bar was awful
Kid
for the drink
Rock.
times. Holy shit. I will say, um, if you go to Nashville, the drinks are expensive, but bring a flask. I did not spend a dime on drinks in those main bars on Broadway. The flask was so worth it.
Well, yeah, I think honestly that's just on you for not being able to afford $11 beers. I feel like that's a very reasonable, affordable price.
It
Pretty
is,
sure that's
you
what they
know,
sell
that is
them
true.
at the grocery store for. I'm pretty sure $11 per beer is about right. That's on you.
I think I just I just can't bring myself to pay $11 for a beer. I think that's just outrageous. I just couldn't do it.
It is, and it doesn't help. They have like a 30 or 40% tax on everything you could think of in
Yeah.
Nashville. I
Yeah,
think I
dude, the
got taxed for
Nashville skate
breathing.
tax is crazy.
I mean, some I can't remember who said it, but somebody said, we fought against w- to become our own country because of like a 2 or 3% stamp tax, and now we get taxed like 40%. We go to Nashville and we're like, it is what it is, unless you bring a
I mean, yeah,
flask.
what are you gonna do about it? Yeah, exactly. The
Clutch
government
on
does not,
you.
yeah, the government does not want you to bring a flask.
It was very clutch of you to bring more, like for other people, so
Hmm.
that I could also take one out. That saved me a ton of money the last night.
Yeah, I thought ahead.
I know. Because I'd even thought about bringing mine, and I was like, nah, we probably. I don't know why, but I was like, oh, they'll probably pat us down or something. I mean, I've been patted down in Louisville to go to bars. I've been like, it's bad.
Yeah,
Like I've
yeah.
had it where the bouncers like basically grope you, and it's like if they're doing that in Louisville, surely you'd think Nashville's worse. I mean, Nashville's like three times the size. You'd think.
Well, it's Louisville to make sure.
Well, I guess
It's Louisville, to be fair.
Louisville's worse in
Yeah.
a different way. But no, yeah, super good trip. I'm guessing you had the same consensus.
Yeah, no, it was really, really good. I personally don't give a fuck about country music like at all. So and from kind of like an outsider's perspective, this was my first time in Nashville. I just associate it very strongly with country music and kind of rightfully so. I mean, every bar on Broadway is big
Honky
some
tonk.
big name and yeah, in the country kind of in the country scene. Which is really cool. If you're into that kind of thing, I think you'd love it. It's kind of like a must see. But even if you're not like me, like it's still fun to just kind of go down there and party, see the sights. Um,
And they
yeah,
don't
I'd
play
recommend
too
it for
much
sure.
country music anymore. I mean, over
No,
50% of it was other genres.
and the country music that they do play is like fake country, like a bar song by Shabuzi, which is not real country. That's like fake pop country.
Whoa, he said that,
But
everybody, not me. I totally agree, but he's.
come on, that is fake. That's not real
I feel
country.
like
Whatever.
everybody knows that. If you're butthurt by that, then you're a fake country fan. But yeah, overall super good. So moving on from Nashville now, I'm kind of curious. I didn't know you were on a podcast until you just joined and just dropped that bombshell on me. What was
Hmm.
your podcast about? Who was it with?
Oh
You
fuck.
know,
Okay.
did you guys have a theme?
We did. So I'll just leak the lore. So it was called Things They Won't Say, and I filmed this in high school. And the premise of the podcast was it was this it's gonna sound so fucking cringe because it was, and I even thought it was cringe at the time. So uh it was the premise of like two high schoolers giving their perspective on like the world and kind of like controversial topics. So I'm
That's what this damn country needs. We need
that's what
two
this damn
15
country
year
needs
olds to tell us
with a
what the hell
microphone.
I'm
Yeah.
doing wrong. Haven't worked a day in their
So
lives.
it was with my good friend at the time. His name was Austin, and this was like his passion project. So I originally was not the first pick to be his co-host, which was kind of funny looking back on it. It was
Ouch.
originally my other friend Brandon, and Brandon was like, I don't want to do this. So he kind of pawned him off, and he's like, hey, I think Corey would be another good co-host, and I think he'd be willing to do it. So Austin and I kind of taken like a lot of the same classes, so we kind of talked about like topics like history before. um and the there were only like seven, there only ended up being like 5 or 6 episodes. And the thing was, he was so scared about getting doxxed that he had us go by pseudonyms. Mine was Cy and his was Linus.
That's that's unreal. It's so worried. The whole world was gonna see it and
Dude,
know
the
your
whole the
names and
whole fucking
faces.
world, and they were gonna freak out because the shit we were saying was so controversial and nobody's ever heard of it before, and we would have gotten canceled. So the first episode we talked about, I think it was religion. It was, and it's about as cringe as it sounds for two 15-year-olds talking about religion can be. So I even remember thinking to myself at the time, I was like, this is too far. And I remember one thing really vividly. So at the time, I basically didn't say anything like super crazy. I basically was just like, yeah, there's a lot of cool religions. I think they have cool ideas, but I don't really subscribe to any like one super closely. And my friend Austin, he had just taken a religions class at our high school. So he just learned
Oh
about
wow.
like all the fucking, yeah, yep. So he just learned about like all of the um religions in the world. And he he's like, I really like Zoroastrianism. And if I could be that, I would be. But right now, I would consider myself he's like, I would consider myself, I think he called himself a Christian with Buddhist ethics and like like in like Hindu mantras. And I remember thinking to myself, as soon as those words exited his mouth, I was like, oh my fucking God, kill me.
I'll take one of
Um,
everything, please.
yeah,
What was that first religion that I couldn't even pronounce that? What even was that? I've never heard of that.
yeah. So Zoroastrianism, I think, um, it was one of the world's first monotheistic religions, and it was the religion of, I believe, the Persian Empire. Um, so I I think that it shared a lot in common with like Christianity in the sense of like there's like the good versus evil kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, and basically after kind of the fall of the Persian Empire, a lot of the people like fled. I think they fled to India, and they were allowed to keep their faith as long as they promised not to convert like other people. So to this day, in order to be a Zoroastrian, your parents have to kind of pass it down to you. You can't convert to it. Now, I mean, you could, but you're not technically like a Zoroastrian. So it's like a dying religion. It's kind of cool to like learn
Wow.
about, but you'll probably never meet somebody who follows it.
That's
But
actually
yeah,
kind of crazy.
yeah.
Genetically, like you have to genetically be born into the religion to technically
Yeah,
be.
it's pretty crazy.
So he's just jealous of the drip, you know. He wants to be he wants
It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that.
oh no.
Under their clothes, they wear like these white like silk. They're not undergarments, but they're kind of like they're like a cloth. So he
Mm,
really is jealous of the drip. He actually is jealous of the drip.
that's wild. So how many episodes did you guys do of this then? And do you have any other like crazy topics?
Yes, yes, we do. So I think we did I think we did four, I think we did anywhere from four to seven. And we had a couple of other highlights. Um One of the episodes we talked about gaming, which was as bad as it sounds.
Religion to
Another
gaming.
Yes, another we did of course talked about politics, which again, as bad as it sounds. We did talk about music, which I thought was probably our best episode. Um, and those are the four topics I remember, and I'm sure there were a couple of others. But overall, if you ever want to go and just like I don't know, just see the worst of what the world has to offer, I think they're still on YouTube somewhere. So I bet you could look it up. It's called Things They Won't Say. So look it up, I guess, if you got some time to kill.
I feel like I've got an author on the podcast dropping his book, you know, how they always do on
Yeah.
talk shows.
Yep. I do get the ad revenue from that. So
Now he's gonna plug his Patreon, make it appear on the screen right here. But
but yeah,
no,
that was
that's
it was bad.
yeah, that I actually that I feel like that'd be worth the watch just in hindsight, you know, especially knowing you. I feel like that'd be
Yeah.
super funny to go back, and especially if you were as uncomfortable as you make it sound like you were, like seeing you like carefully step around these super hot topics while your friend just
hmm
dives in and is getting dirty with it. I mean, it sounds interesting.
I'm sure I also said some really cringe shit too. Um but yeah, I feel really bad for a lot of the kids growing up nowadays because we were all dumb and did like stupid shit as kids. The difference is like now you've got social media where that can be like immortalized forever. So um I
Don't
guess
say that.
don't give your kids a podcast. Just the moral of the story.
Even if they're 23, don't do it. It's
Yeah,
not
don't do
worth
it.
it. Don't let them start it. Talk them out of it. Tell them it's a bad idea. But at least we haven't gotten into anything too crazy. I mean, last episode we did just kind of shit on British people the whole time. That's probably about as political
Damn.
as we're gonna get. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. You are a dirty Brit, aren't you? Anyways, we'll stay
Yeah.
away from that since that already happened, and I don't want you to bring up any good counter arguments. This is more of a one-sided thing where we just get to bash people, and they
You
just
just gotta
have to
bash people.
they just have to listen. We'll just choose different people to bash every
hmm
time. But this time we're gonna bash you and your friend for that podcast.
Oh, dude, that was like so we did podcasts, and then in high school we also made like feature length films as well.
Feature length meaning
Yep.
like
Like
full
long, like
length.
hour and a half. Yeah.
Was this like you guys filming you guys walking around in the woods on an iPhone and being like the adventures of Bigfoot?
No, like we had like scripts and like plots and like full drawn out things. Um we made four, and we even had like our own cinematic like universe with like reoccurring characters.
No way.
I
Plug
swear to
that.
God.
Plug the YouTuber right now.
So I actually tried to get it off YouTube, and I could not find any of them. So I need to ask my one friend Brandon for them because I hope to God he has them saved somewhere. I might even have them saved somewhere on my computer. And if not, I need to do that because those are very precious and I need to keep them forever. Um, they were. I can give you the plot of the first one and then the character that I played
I am
if you
curious
would
what
like.
a full length feature film. Were you in high school at this point?
This was high school, yeah.
So high school full length feature film looks like. I'm curious because my sister was just in a short film competition for, I don't
Mhm.
even think it was for school. I think it was just a competition, and her and her friends did it, and they were all short videos, like 8-minute films or something, like something pretty
Mhm.
quick. But hers was like extremely well done. It was like an office style sort of thing, and I was actually like I was laughing out loud. It was funny, and it was like pretty well put together. Like their acting actually seems
Mhm.
semi genuine. For most of the other films in the competition, is people just like, you could tell they just had someone was holding up a poster board in the background. They're just reading off of it. So
Those,
uh,
yeah, that was ours. Ours
there
was not
are.
like your
I was gonna
sister's.
say there's like there's the top 1%, and then there's
Mhm.
all the other garbage,
Yeah, ours was
and
the bottom
all
99
the
for
all
sure. Ours
all the
was in
other
the
garbage.
bottom 99.
Maybe the bottom one. Who knows? Until we find them, we'll dig through. But
Yeah.
go ahead. What was it about?
So, so the first movie that we made was called Ralph and Kevin's McDonald Adventure. The
This is
the
already
premise
going
of
exactly as I expected. I expected
the
nothing less.
yeah, the premise, oh, this is the best part. The premise of this movie was there were two friends, Ralph and Kevin, and I think it was Kevin's birthday, and they were going to go to McDonald's for a big birthday surprise. Um, the movie was about 45 to 50 minutes, and the plot was them basically getting from their house to McDonald's. So the I don't remember the exact like sequence of events, but there were kind of a couple of key like moments. So the first one was Ralph ended up killing his older brother. He had an older brother that he ended up killing after they had a fight. Um, there was a one of our friends played. You remember Elliot, right?
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, Elliot played a character called Leroy, and we filmed this in the dead of winter, um, like Indiana, no, like late November weather. It was like 20 degrees out, and this man, his character had to be shirtless and in jorts, um, and he was basically an insane homeless man that chased around the characters and just kind of caused chaos. So the character I played was named Yisrael. I was a Jewish wizard whose power was to make people anti-Semitic, and I did wear a coffee filter on my head as a young.
And we're
It
canceled.
was really
I can
bad.
wrap this up. No one will ever speak to me
It
again
was
after
great.
those words.
No, it was awesome. And that was pretty much the show. The ending of it was they got to McDonald's and they ate 20 cheeseburgers in a row, each of them.
Did they actually
So
do
it's
it?
just a big, yeah, they did.
20 cheeseburgers in a row. They were able to do that and not die.
One of them did throw up, and that's the final cutoff is him throwing up. Like that's like the last like frame of the film before it goes to the credits.
I would do anything in my power. If I was a magic wizard, I would do anything in my power to get that movie so I could watch that and
I
enjoy every second of
I
it.
actually got my hold up. I actually have my computer open. Oh fuck. I don't think I have it.
I
I just
totally
cleaned out my computer recently. Fuck.
I
I
could
need to
see
I
why
need to
you
do something.
I could see why you might want to delete that. I think maybe I mentioned me and my co-host Kieran had a podcast back in high school as well, which I think only lasted about like 4 episodes or so before we eventually quit. And I don't even remember why we quit, but anyways, it was just terrible, terrible, foul content. I mean, just foul and just like hard to watch. Like it's not like we were like
Wait,
saying I'm one of every religion known to man, but but it was just hard to watch stuff, and it was just super cringy. And around the time, like I think sophomore, junior year of college, we're like starting to look for internships, and it kind of dawns on us this is somewhere on the internet. And I think I had tried to go and remove it, and
Hmm.
I couldn't figure it out. I think I was like, I forgot the password of the email, and I didn't have it set up on my thing anymore.
Hmm.
I wasn't the backup number, or actually, I've changed my phone number since high school, so I didn't have access, and I just had to helplessly watch as that channel. I think it still exists because I think we went and we looked at it again
It's
recently, and it's got like
fine. It's
it's
fine.
the videos have a few hundred views now each. I don't
Oh,
know how they're
yeah.
popping off, but like, well, not that that's necessarily popping off, but like, I never expected them to get more than like three. And I mean, that's kind of, I was
Yeah.
already surprised here when I saw between Spotify and YouTube, we were getting like 20. I was like, shit, I'll take that. I was like,
Damn.
I thought my grandma might tune in for 5 minutes and then dip and say, this guy's boring as hell, something like that. But, but no, so I do get wanting to clear up that that history a little bit, but it never really leaves. It tends to stick.
It doesn't, but I don't know. As long as your name isn't in that stuff, dude, I don't think employers are really checking that deeply for that kind of thing. They might check your Instagram or like your like Twitter, like big stuff like that, but they're not going through YouTube. Like if you have a YouTube account in your name, they might. But if it's like a screen name, it's not gonna hit any algorithm or anything.
You're right, Sai. I think I should go with uh,
Exactly.
I'll go with Leroy for my name. We'll just pick some random Leroy. Got it.
Yeah. Bingo. But yeah, that was yeah, the movies we made got up to like I think our most popular one got up to 450. They were pretty big in our high school at the time, so there's a chance that like pretty much half of my entire class saw it. I did have like a couple of times like random people approach me in like the lunch line and ask me like they're like, "Oh my God, you're from the thing." I was like, "Yeah."
Like a
Um,
mini
it
celebrity.
was it was like the news cycle. So like 2 days later, everybody forgot about it. Like but yeah, if I make a bid for office, that might leak. So I will be big chillin'. I will not be running for office anytime soon.
You should run, especially now that you dropped what kind of wizard you were earlier. Um,
Yeah,
drop it again for whenever you're running and they play this clip. It's going to be on
yeah,
CNN right here. I can see the headline.
it'd be good. It would be. You know what? I stand by it. So we're good.
What is now that you're officially running for office and shoot, when will that be? I don't even remember the last time we voted. What year is it? 2025. Was it last
Midterms
year?
are midterms are in 2026. So,
No,
but I
you're
don't know.
running
They're
for
like,
president.
oh,
Even
I'm
though
running
you're
for
too
I,
young,
I
I
think I got
don't
to be
care.
like 35. Yeah,
I
I think you got to be like
if
45 or some shit.
if you get elected, just amend the Constitution. It's that simple.
That's true. That is true.
So now that you're running for president, what is the first thing you would do?
Like the first like joke thing or the first actual thing I would do.
This is not your podcast, Corey. We're not talking about politics here.
Okay. The first thing I would do is I would make it I would implement first thing, pot is getting legalized everywhere, all across the board,
I,
everywhere.
I feel
It's
like that's not a
I'm
joke
gonna make
thing.
it I'm gonna make it mandatory.
Oh, it's still not a joke, is it, Corey?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a joke. I know you've
Mm-mm.
been talking about mandatory pot for everyone,
Mandatory,
including. I think you've been
especially
caught
children.
saying, especially babies, newborn
Mhm.
babies, is really
Fresh
your
out the
biggest
womb.
thing. Do they cry too much? They need a chill pill, and you'll give it to them. You'll
Hmm.
mandatorily make them take it. That is a brave but necessary decision. I'm
Hmm.
sure, the problem is it'll probably cut down on Xanax's sales, so they'll probably lobby against you. So you will have to fight that. But I don't
Eh,
know. Like fruit
it's an
snacks and
uphill
stuff will
battle.
probably get a big boost in revenue if you get elected. So,
Hmm.
all
Yeah,
midnight
I
snack
didn't even
foods will
think
be
about
fighting
that.
for you.
I didn't even think about that. Ethan, you're gonna be my VP.
Ooh. Nah.
See, with ideas like that, see now what you could do is then you could put the pot in the fruit snacks and you got edibles.
Oh my God. So you can have the snack and the pot at the same time. That's genius.
Hmm.
Wow.
Exactly.
You can just cut down on the amount of time it takes because you'd have to go out and get one, then you'd have to get the other. That takes too long. There's no way.
Hmm.
That's genius. Well, I think everybody knows who they're casting their vote for this next election. Plug the year. It's
I will be
2028.
making
It's definitely
my
2028. That's
I
it.
will be making my campaign in what year would that? Yeah, 2028. You're right.
You gotta start early. Start prepping now. No one's
Hmm.
been running yet. So really it's a wide open gate for you and legalizing pot, but mostly for mandatory for babies.
Mandatory consumption. Yep.
Mandatory consumption with increasing
Exactly.
dosage as the year goes on.
We wouldn't even need a drug test anymore. Like, think about all the money you would be saving through drug tests.
That's true. We wouldn't need them anymore. I mean, it would streamline how easy it would be to get a job. Everybody could have them.
Hmm.
The employment rate would probably be 300%, maybe 400% of all people in the United
Yep.
States would
Yep.
have a job. I think those are totally possible and valid numbers.
I only see pluses here.
Foreign policy.
I would like to refer to my previous movie character here. No, I'm just kidding. Um,
Uh, anyways, so that was a great episode, everybody.
get off of foreign policy. Off of foreign policy. Um, for foreign policy, I think we need to go to war more. I just feel like we haven't caused enough chaos across the globe. So what I'm going to be doing is I will be instituting. First of all, I will be calling up the draft, but only for women. I think we need more girl power in our armed forces. So number one, we
Feminist.
will be, yeah, we will be drafting all the women in this country. Number two, we will be sending them first. Canada is shouldn't be a country. Okay, we will make that a state. We're going to capture it, and then we're going to hand it over. We don't actually want it, so we're just going to hand it back to the British. Okay, that is going to be step number one. Step
It's
number
useless
two,
colony.
yeah, like it just shouldn't be a country. Step number two, I think the Japanese have had it too good for too long. They're gone. Yep, they're getting
For too
they're
long.
getting they're getting it again.
Like
Hmm.
80 years long.
Yeah, they've had it
Shit.
too good for too
Just
long.
go back another two bombs. Corey's not having it with the anime. They're not making good enough. The,
Mm-mm.
the seasons aren't coming out quick enough. You need to go back and put the pressure on to get out another season of I don't know something. What'd
Hey,
you
they
say?
milked Attack on Titan for like 20 years, so I think that it's only fair. Okay.
It's only fair.
Hmm.
With the
Let's see. I think that would be pretty much it. Um, yeah, that would be it. Domestically, for domestic policy,
probably violence.
no, I would want my subjects to love me.
Okay, so
So,
what's your
um,
plan for the three people out there who don't love you right now? What's your plan?
yeah, for the three people, um, I think you know what I would do, I would just give everybody $1 billion. So everybody is now a billionaire.
So at the same time, we're all $1 billion poorer as well because now we all have $1 billion.
Mm-mm. No.
Oh, we're just $1 billion richer. Why don't they
Yeah,
do
there's no
that now?
consequences
I
because they're
feel like they should
dumb.
do that. If they just printed the money. This is probably that's probably the exact thing you said in your high school podcast. Like you and the other guy, like,
Mhm.
what if they just printed the money and gave it to us? Nothing stopping them.
There would be nothing bad that would
Nothing bad. There'd just be more money, which means we'd all be richer. It's easy. Why do we have to work when we have printers?
That's, I didn't think about it like that. That needs to be, somebody should run on that, and it will be me. It's going to be me.
I would say as your VP, that'll be my policy. Make printing
Mhm.
money. That's
You
just how
know,
the U.S. currency is created now. It's created
as
on
my
loose leaf paper.
VP, I just want you to be a trophy wife, okay?
Oh,
That's all I really need you to do. I just need you to be a trophy wife, okay?
just stand in the background and smile and wave.
Hmm. Yep,
Just another man using me for my body. I'm tired of it.
correct. Yep. Actually, new policy. Ethan, you have to put out more. Your new policy. That's going to be my fourth and final policy.
At this rate, I'm gonna be the only person that votes against you as your
That,
VP.
that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Okay.
Oh no. I suddenly I think I'm gonna encourage all the viewers to not vote for you anymore. So now you just lost 20 votes. You'll probably still have
Let's
300 and
go.
something million, but for the $1 billion thing. But for the 20
Hmm.
people that have any respect for me, maybe they won't vote for you. They probably will. They probably want to see it happen, but
Yeah, I bet they do.
they definitely do. But alrighty. So, Corey, I described to you what we do at the end of these things. We go
Hmm.
ahead, give a little motivational speech. All the viewers are dying to hear some motivation to get them through their awful week. Their week sucks.
Hmm.
Every week they have, what is it, 5 days where they can't hear my beautiful voice. Those must be the 5 worst days of their lives. So
Hmm.
I need you to motivate them to get through the next, what is today? Today's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
But
Yep.
this is going out on Thursday, and they're going to get the next episode on Monday. So at least 2 days. We'll just say that. You can't be wrong if it's at
Hmm.
least, because it could be more. So the next at least 2 days that they have to go without hearing me again.
Hmm.
So go ahead, give it
Gotcha.
your all. Get close to the camera. Like, look into their souls, and well, I'd say get close to the mic, but you're wearing AirPods. So for those on Spotify, just imagine he's louder.
Here.
I,
Do
actually,
you have like patriotic music or something to play?
do, 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 do. I'm gonna peek the mic.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you want a drum roll? Can you hear
No,
us?
I'm good. Ladies and gentlemen of the armed forces, I would first like to thank you for your sacrifice that you make every day to protect our freedoms. Remember what it was like back at home. I'm sure you don't remember because you've been fighting in the desert for so long, but remember what it is that you're fighting for. You're fighting so that so that college students can go out and get drunk, piss on carpets, make out with random men, and scare security guards and have a fun time. Even though you probably made the mistake of joining the Marines or whatever it is you're in now, just remember that it could be a lot worse. You could be on a podcast right now speaking to a whole 20 people and running for president in the next 4 years. I would like to remind you all that as your supreme leader, you do have to support me. And as a part of your package for you when you return home, my vice president, Ethan, will be putting out for each and every one of you.
Wait. This might work because they're all women now, right? That you've drafted.
They are. They are. Yes, I actually this is
I'm back on
well this
board.
is this is to the troops. This is to the troops currently as my bid for president.
I'm backing out.
It's a message to like the future, you know. Um I guess I just want to make sure that you guys are having fun. I just want to wish the troops on both sides. I just wish they have a fun time and they're all safe.
Have a good bout.
I just hope everybody enjoys themselves and have a fun time.
Okay. Well, I guess that was the end. To everyone in the armed services now, I hope that really inspired you to keep going for the drunk college children that you are fighting for, and
And
for
Ethan.
and me, and
Hmm.
your soon to be trophy wife in the future. And then to in the future for all of the for the how many? Over 150 million women that have been drafted into our armed services. Once our supreme leader, Corey, becomes president, I hope you will continue to take this message and apply it to your own experiences, because you too will be in a desert for way too long. I really have nothing else to say. I was beautifully put. That was beautifully put.
Thank you. Thank you. It was from the heart.
It was. I could tell. It meant a lot, and it's going to mean a lot to everyone else.
Yep.
So, I hope everyone can get some inspiration from that and hold out, knowing that our troops are doing everything in their power and having some fun in order to keep us. In order to keep us.
Both sides are having fun. Both sides are having a good time.
I can't do this. I'm supposed to sign off now. How am I supposed to keep a straight face for more than 5 seconds? Alrighty. Well, until Monday, Cat Tavern out.